And we back. 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 What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? What's popping? What's the deal? It's your man CJ Kyles, aka the High Value Nurse, coming to y'all with a late night video, late night stream. Will not be on here too long, but the algorithm has to eat. Shout out to Troy Terrain. Let me make sure my audio is good, and I'm gonna get straight into the game today. It's been a very interesting day. All right, let me check my audio, make sure I'm straight. All right, I'm good. Let's get into it, boys and girls. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is CJ, aka the High Value Nurse. If this is your first time here, welcome. We are doing a live broadcast, and I am here to talk with you all. Now, it has been an extremely long day. I just woke up from a nap and I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and put some work in on my business real quick. Let me go to work real quick for about an hour because this is work. Don't get it twisted, and talk to the people out there. How has everybody been doing, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are doing well. I am doing well, great at the moment. And I hope you all are doing well. Now, y'all see the title. Y'all see the title. Y'all see what we talking about. Indiana, Indiana. They trying to make things a little bit easier on themselves. They are attempting to loosen up staff requirements. Well, not staff requirements, but loosen up the nursing school requirements, right? In order to attract more potential nursing students into the field. That is what we're going to talk about this evening. That is the main topic of the broadcast. That is going to be the main topic of the broadcast. Let me just check one more thing. And I'm gonna get it popping. I'm gonna get it popping. All right, hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it, boys and girls. So, I had my orientation today. I'm finna just sit back and kick for a minute with y'all. I mean, it's not even a regular show format. I'm just about to sit back and kick it. I had my orientation today, and it was very interesting. First of all, I worked 12 hours the previous night, so I'm coming all the way from Lansing to where I was going, and that took about an hour drive. And I knew the orientation would be long, but that joint was super long. And when I say super long, it was super long, ladies and gentlemen. Now, uh, I arrive, we get there. I arrive to the building. Come to find out, I'm parked at the wrong side, right? So I have to walk all the way to the other side of the building to get to where I'm supposed to go. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, bro? Nothing much, man. Just chopping it up real quick with the fam. We're gonna talk about this game up real quick, man. How you been doing? I hope you doing well. Um, but like I said, man, so I had to go to the other end of the building, and I finally found a place. It's about 20 people in there, but uh, half the students are LPNs that are doing the bridge program. The other half are first year students. So they're doing they were doing the orientation together because we were all bumped up, right? So it was almost like a clumping together. So they had to go back and forth between the requirements for the first year RN students versus the LPN bridge program RN students. So that was interesting. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They did what they could. They did the best they could. And, you know, they trying to get people in there. Shout out to the doctors. The doctors were both dope. They had a lot of information. Um, so, you know, they did their thing. And we had a math test. We had a math test. And a lot of people didn't, they were not aware of the math test. I was aware of the math test. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Only study like 2 days max. You know what I'm saying? Like I only studied for it because it wasn't a pass or fail, and I knew that. Um, but I still wanted to do decent. Now I got 17 out of 20 wrong. So most of it was dose overhand, IV, uh, IV rates, and drip factors, and all that kind of stuff. And with my rotations, I start my peds rotation first, OBP's rotation. So we have a test that we're supposed to get 100% on, a math test that we're supposed to get 100% on. So I've been working on that. I hired a tutor. Um, and like I said, man, it's time to get this popping because I'm just ready to get this thing over with. I'm ready to get this thing over with, over with, over with. So I can get back to my cruise life. In this vacation life, you dig? Um, but I will say this though, the program I think is very doable. We have 1 day of class, 2 days of clinicals, and the clinical days are 6 hour days. So I'm thinking at first like it was gonna be 12 hour days. I didn't know it was gonna be 6 hour days, but I guess that's not too bad. You know what I'm saying? But for this rotation, you have to go 2 different days. So hopefully I get the rotation days that I picked because how I have it set up is that I still plan to work full time. And then the other 4 days, I can still study. You know what I'm saying? And do what I need to do to finish what I need to do. So I'll go ahead and graduate. With that being said, the NCLEX is changing May 2000 or April 2023. So our cohort will be some of the first ones to take the new NCLEX. Not really worried about it because I'm about to put the work in for the next 8 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm going to be simultaneously studying school and NCLEX at the same time. It's supposed to be a lot more SATA questions. And for those of you who don't know what SATA questions are, select all that apply. I'm not looking forward to that. But um, they are supposed to count like each point. Like, so if you pick like um, only the two, like say if you got a question that has a possible 5 answers and you only pick 3 out of the 5, you still get those points and you don't get the whole thing wrong. From what I'm hearing. Now, if I'm wrong, please come up in here and correct me. But that's cool, you know what I'm saying? And it's supposed to be more like critical thinking based, and I'm not really worried about that either. So, um, but I'm not worried. I'm also preparing for it. So it's just like, you know, I'm not really worried about it. And one thing too, and I don't know if this is an advantage or disadvantage. Um, I think the fact with me being an LPN, like being a nurse, I think, um, well, I will say this. I think it is this part is an advantage because I felt this kind of pressure before. Um, hold on, my homie texting me, my nurse homie. Um, let me see. I'm asking if you want to get on the live. I know this ghetto. I'm live right now. Live right now. Um, but yeah, I felt this kind of pressure before, and it wasn't too long ago. Like I'm glad that it wasn't. He calling right now. Hold on one second, yo. Yo, what up, B? Yeah, yeah. I was gonna shoot you the link, see if you wanted to get on. No, it's just gonna be you. I'm just chopping it up. Yeah, yeah. I'll shoot you the link. Come on, just come on when you're ready. I'll be on here for a minute. All right. But yeah, I felt this kind of pressure before, and it all started to come back because they were constantly talking about how serious this is, and you really want to study. And back then, we were going to LPN school, like it was 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, at the time, I didn't have as many bills as I do now, but I still worked like crazy. I worked 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? And I still was going out. You know, uh, with me and Drina, I think we had just started. I think we had just started dating, or like either we had just started dating or we had just became official. Um, but I'm kicking it with her, hanging out with her, and I was still doing what I was doing. So I don't know. Maybe because I didn't even recognize like I knew it was serious, but I didn't really recognize how serious this was. Like getting into it. Let me send him this link. Um, but like I said, all that stuff started to come back. All that, this is serious. You need to study this math. You got to get 100% here. You can't get less than this score here. Like all that stuff just started coming back. It reminded me of the first day I had orientation at Everest. So, and it was the same thing. But the difference was this was 5 days a week versus now what I have. Um, it's like the clinical days is 2 days a week, but lecture is one. So I still got really 4 days in between to do what I need to do. And with me, listen, and let's not cap. You know what I'm saying? Uh, at night, working at night, you have some downtime. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you are going to be in a program like this, it would be best to work midnights. I know some of y'all can't work midnights. Y'all got kids and all that other stuff, but I feel like it would be best to work midnights simply because it's downtime. You get the opportunity to look at your books and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's no secret. You feel me? Especially working in long term care, or if you're not working in a facility, or if you're not even working in healthcare, you are in school. I recommend you get like an easy job where they just need a body. Like go get you a security gig at night somewhere where it ain't too dangerous and you just sitting. You feel me? So you can go to work. I mean, you can study while you at work. So, you know, uh, that's how I feel like you should handle that situation. But all in all, I think the program is very doable, versus going to like other programs like Hondros and PSI. Now, I know PSI, you don't have to be there 5 days a week, but I know Hondros you do. And I know nurses who were successful in Hondros, even with all the shenanigans that was going on there, working 5 days a week and going to school and having kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think, like I said before, like I think being a nurse kind of it helps. It definitely helps. It gives me an advantage. But on top of that, but on the flip side, I know that I have LPN to fall back on. So I may not be as worried as the next person, if that makes sense. Like I may not be as worried as the next person because I know if all else fails, I can still get a bag being an LPN. I'm definitely up trying to upgrade, and I am going to upgrade, but if all else fails, I know I can still get a bag and live a good lifestyle by doing what I'm doing. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, I'm ready to expand my horizons. Real talk. Um, like I'm really ready to expand my horizons. I'm ready to do something different. Um, but the bag is the bag. We ain't gonna never stop trying to get the bag. So that's just part of the game. That is just part of the game. But let's get into it. Let me send my dog this link real quick so he can hop up on here. And cause real talk and like this my homie who the travel ICU nurse. He sent me his check stub. Stupid, bro. Stupid. It's crazy. Uh Shout out to my other nurse friend D. She be putting me on game. Shout out to Danny. Danny always looking out for me. That's like my sister, y'all. She really like my big sister. She like the big sister I never had. So like she stay looking out for me. Especially like when it comes to this nursing stuff. So shout out to you. Let me go ahead and send this link real quick. All right, that's done. But let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. Oh, dog, don't tell me I got rid of the video, bro. What up? Hold on, let me get my headphones. Hold on. What's cracking?
Nothing much. At work, doing a double.
Grinding, huh?
Yes.
Man, I had orientation today, man, and I had just came from a 12-hour shift. Dog,
Mm,
never again.
yeah.
Never again.
Yeah. I could only work midnights when I didn't have school the next day.
Shit was terrible. But no, the orientation wasn't terrible though. It was actually
The
really
staying up
decent.
after working midnight.
Yeah, that was hard, but like the orientation was pretty cool. They fed us. We got Jets pizza. That was
Okay.
straight.
Okay.
And they had a lot of information, but just like I was telling them, I feel like being an LPN already kind of puts me in an advantage, but it also gives me like a disadvantage because I know how my brain works. Because I know if all else fails, I always had that to fall back on, but I don't want to use that as a crutch.
I gave you what you need.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
gonna pass. I'm
yes,
it ain't even no reason to say nothing else. You pass.
right. So like, but anyway, I just I was just trying to tell the people what it was like. But so I came up on this article, right? So Indiana, they are trying to address the nursing shortage, and I'm about to pull it up actually. And they're trying to address the nursing shortage. So they're loosening the requirements, the clinical requirements.
You was just saying
Yeah,
that they should loosen the reins on the requirements to become a nurse.
because they know it don't take that long to get through school, and most of your experience come from the bedside anyway, or coming from the environment. But they're gonna do it as so you can spend more time in the clinical simulation instead of being in an actual hospital setting. But somebody brought a point up to me, and I thought this actually made sense. And I want to see what you thought, because they said that they're trying to pump more nurses out and oversaturate the field so they can pay them less.
I mean, they could try.
And that's what I said. They can try, but I don't think it'll ever happen
It won't.
because new grads be leaving within the first 2 years. So, I mean, and people are just not attracted to the field like that, regardless of how the incentive you try to give them. You know what I'm saying?
I think doing something like that is just gonna bring a lot more people in the field that don't actually want to be here trying to chase the bag. This is loose and reins, and they gonna waste all their money for the people who done made it through, and then get on the floor and find out
It ain't
this
what you
ain't
thought it
it.
was.
This
The
is not what I wanted.
politics, the families, all the drama, all the BS that come with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the reward is sweet, but it's a price you pay for that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's definitely a price you pay for that. And so let me pull it up. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Let me see. Let me see. All right. Let me make sure how it look on here. Okay. Been a minute since I don't work StreamYard. So it says new Indiana law aims to address state nursing shortage. Let me see. Should I play the video?
Chicago with Brady.
I
Summertime means
knew it was
road
gonna
trip.
give me a dude that's talking. Um, but it says a new law kicked in, and it aims to increase the number of nurses in the state to address what healthcare workers call a critical shortage. The goal is to help nursing programs accept more students and eventually increase the workforce. CBS's Tim Nichols went to what is it, Francine Health in Hammond to see how it will work. So it says Indiana nurses still need to train in a hospital with real patients, known in the field as clinical training. But now schools can substitute up to 50% of their clinical hours with simulation hours with
Oh,
mannequins and computers. So let me ask you: Do you think if they substitute the clinical hours with so, if they substitute the hospital hours with clinical hours at their school with mannequins and dummies, do you think that's a good idea? Do you think that'll take away from the actual experience?
I think it will take away from the experience, yes. Because that's what happened here during COVID. Our clinicals got shut down, so we was having to do virtual or simulation.
Hmm.
Um, and a lot of the actual nurses that were like not nurses already were complaining about that. Like, oh, I'm not gonna really know what to do, or I can't get it. I was just in there just floating through, of course.
Right.
So I
Because
would
you
say,
already got the patient experience. You
yeah,
already
I
got
would
the
say it could hinder you. I mean, if you don't, if you, especially if you like just come into this field, like if you haven't been a aide or no
hmm
type of tech where you've been in this field to understand it a little, then it can hinder you.
yeah. Um I really feel like I said, I mean I'm gonna speak from an LPN level because I haven't started classes yet, but I really do feel like from an LPN aspect, 3 months in a classroom max. The other 6 should be spent in the clinical. I don't even think LPN school should be a year. Like I watch in about probably in about a year, you're gonna see LPN school start to shorten their time.
I hope not.
You don't think so?
I hope not.
Why you say that?
If they putting LPNs back in the hospital,
No.
no,
I'm talking about in long term care.
How many patients do you have here?
I don't know.
Are you the highest census? I think so.
Hold on.
I don't know how many I have. I'm just gonna take care of who y'all gave me. Um,
Do you have okay.
I'm sorry, that just threw me off.
No, I'm
What you
saying
say?
like if they were like long term care, like if LPNs are going into long term care, do you think that shortening the programs is something that will be beneficial? Because I personally don't think an LPN program should be a year long.
Yeah,
I
but
think
what
it's
I'm saying is
crazy.
I don't think that that's a good idea because LPNs are going back into the hospital right now.
Oh, they going back into the hospital.
Yes,
Right, right,
and
yeah.
and then in some states LPNs are still in the hospital. They were never taken out.
Right,
So
right.
no, they should not shorten it. You absolutely need to sit in that class because you got to learn the anatomy and physiology for the pathophysiology to make sense. You got to learn both of them so you even learn how to make the medicines make sense. Like you actually, I be telling people that like when you go to nursing school, it's not like regular school. Regular school, you learn to take a test. After you take a test, you forget and move to the next test. But in nursing school, you actually need all those things to actually make it make sense. It's building blocks.
Hmm. I see your point. I see your point. I just feel like I feel like with the pathophysiology and anatomy and physiology, like I feel like that could be done in 3 months if you because our semester in A&P wasn't that long. A lot of the stuff we had in our school was filler. Like real talk, it was busy work.
Mm.
And like A&P was maybe I'm trying to think how long was A&P? I think it was 7 weeks. So I just feel like once you get that anatomy and physiology down packed, I feel like the rest of the stuff, I mean, you got fundamentals, you got leadership, and you got all
Now
that other
that's the
stuff.
stuff that need to leave,
And that's what I'm saying. And I feel like
not
that
the
will
actual
shorten the
nursing
program.
classes.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I think that will shorten the program. I think because your experience don't come until you hit the floor anyway. And I really feel like nursing school didn't prepare me for for what I experience now.
Nursing school prepared you to take the NCLEX,
Exactly.
and
And I
you
don't feel
learn
they
how to
did
be a
that
nurse
much.
when as you being a nurse. But I still don't want somebody who haven't learned everything to be working on me.
Mm,
I need you to be
okay.
able to fully understand what you're doing because my life is in your hands.
Facts. That is facts. All right. So
Okay, give me a
hold
number.
on. Let me get back to the
KES,
okay.
LO,
Let me see. Let me see.
09.
All right, let me read this part. Let me read this part. It says, unlike clinical simulations don't require a nursing instructor on site, which are also in short supply, so it could allow schools to expand their capacity. The program will take the same amount of time, but the volume of students they can accommodate at the schools will increase. I just said we are in a severe nursing shortage, and we need to have those nurses. There are about 4,300 nursing openings in Indiana. The Indiana Hospital Association said the state will need about 5,000 more nurses by 2031. And I think that number is cap. I think they need way more than that by 2031. What do you think about that? What do you think about them saying that, well, since we can allow more students to fill the capacity more, you might not need that many more instructors.
I feel bad for
Yeah.
whatever nursing student has to pay for this program because
Yep.
basically they saying we ain't got no teachers for you, but we want more of y'all in the class. So we're gonna put more of y'all in the class that don't know what to do without no instructor, without no experience. And then we're gonna let y'all go be in it. They're trying to kill people and they're trying to put these people in jail because they quick to throw you in jail when you fuck up.
Sure will. Sure will. Y'all better be careful. Y'all better be careful. They giving out football numbers too. Football
And
numbers, and that's
but
what I'm
but but
saying.
treating you like that, it just gonna throw you out there. Say we don't got enough instructors, but we gonna make a bigger class. Sound like Detroit public schools, don't it?
Man, but you know what's crazy? That's why I try to tell people to understand that. And I had this discussion with a nurse I was talking to last night. I said, y'all have to understand this is a business before anything else, before patient care, before anybody's well-being, before anybody getting healed back to health, to optimal health. This is a business nonetheless, and you have to respect it for what it is. Like, this is America, this is a capitalist society. You choose to get in the game, and you choose to, or you choose not to play. Well, it's either one. So, like, I don't know, you just got to pick your poison. You got to pick your poison. But I do believe in absolutely having an exit plan. um because I'm telling you right now, 30 years at the bedside is not it. 30 years of being, and I say that respectfully. I say that respectfully because you have some amazing nurses that have given their life to this profession, and they have been in the game that long and even longer. And I say that with respect. But as far as from my perspective, no, sir. My goal, and I had this same conversation last night with this nurse James. Shout out to Nurse James. Like, it's no way I can spend the next 30 years being under the tutelage of somebody else when they say what retirement age is 65 now, or is it 75 at this point?
I don't know because that don't have nothing to do with me. What they say.
That's a fact. Like, and then you only got what 50. I think the lifespan of a man is what 80, if that, or is it 70, something like that. So
Listen,
you
not
only
long
supposed
enough
to
to be
enjoy
working till
life for
forever. That's
no,
what I
no,
know.
no, no. And like I said, I would never ever crap on the field of nursing because it has provided me a lot of opportunities. But I see it for what it is, and that's what I really want people to take from this. You have to see it for what it is. Um, you can make the most of it, or you can let it make you bitter. And I think that's a problem too with a lot of other nurses. I think they've let this field make them bitter, and I feel like it's too many options for that to happen. You feel
Yes,
me?
yes.
So
Ain't
let
no
me
reason to
ask
be
you
bitter.
something. Like, as far as nursing is concerned, with you, um, and you don't have to put your business out there if you don't want to, but like, what are some of your plans that you have as you start to further in your career? You muted. Oh, oh,
So man, they just seemed like they was just getting louder and louder. Um, so my plan, I want to. I'm about to go on a contract.
okay.
Um, with the money from that contract, I'm about to start buying houses. Um, 5 houses, 5 duplexes that have me at 10,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, more than 10,000 a month. 10,000 is like cheap if I'm charging like low rent.
Mm.
Um, I got my legging line. I finally got my leggings, so I'm about to start doing those.
There you go.
I'm gonna take my NCLEX when I come back, so I'm gonna be working in a hospital. And once I get in there, I should be having my leggings. I mean, my scrubs come out, so I'll be also selling leggings for tall women. Um, Let me
Shout out to
see.
all my ladies over 6 feet.
Yes.
Shout out to
Um,
y'all. A
it's
little
so many
jealous.
things that I want to do. Then I just have other just passive investments and things that I'm investing in, and I want to increase those. So, I'm just trying to get this money for my babies.
Bet, bet. See me, I'm trying to figure out a way, and this is like right now what we're doing. This is work for me.
Hmm.
Because once YouTube started sending the play at them checks, I said, okay, this could really turn into something. So, like I said, I'm trying to figure out how to make my life a vacation. Uh, Point blank period, rather that comes from avenues of nursing, whether that comes from investing. The point is, I want to get to the point to where by 45, I'm chilling
How you feel?
and I'm really chilling and I'm taking advantage of life and I'm seeing the world. Like I'm doing that now, but I really want to make it like an 80% thing. Like now it's more like 65, more like, 60-40. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot because most people don't even do that. But I ain't worried about most people.
Right, right.
I'm trying to, and then like on top of that, one thing I was saying, I was talking to some other people about when you're trying to do fly stuff in your life, people like regular people with a regular mindset and a broken mindset, they will really try to make you feel like you nuts, like you
Hmm.
crazy for real, like you off your rocker. And all it takes is somebody with the same mindset as you to help you realize that, damn, you're not crazy after all.
Mm-mm.
Like, I'm not crazy after all, because it's just like, I was talking to one of my other homies. This fool asked me, well, why do you work so much? A man asked me, why do you work so much? And like, I know these people probably think I be capping when I say, no, these people really be saying this stuff to me. I be having these talks with Drina all the time. I'm like, niggas will come to me and be like, well, why do you work so much? What you want to do all that for? What you trying to prove? Like, prove? Nigga, I wanna live good.
I ask that when I see women working a lot. I don't typically ask that of men.
Like, I wanna live good. I want the finer things in life, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like we live in a society that tries to shame the people that want a nice lifestyle. And I feel
Hmm.
like if you pay the price and if you put in the work, you deserve it. You
And
deserve
not
it.
only the people who trying to get it, but the people who got it. I went to a wedding one time, and there was this young boy who was our bus boy, and I didn't know the people who we were sitting at the table with because it was my husband's coworkers.
Mhm.
But they start like cracking jokes on the little boy, not around him. Like, oh, I bet you he a trust fund baby and da, 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 da. I said, y'all acting like it's something wrong with being a trust fund baby. I want my kids to be trust fund babies. What's
Right.
wrong with that? I said, and if he is a trust fund baby, kudos to him because that means he don't even have to work and he has a job. Like that's a really good guy right there.
Yeah.
They was just looking at me. I said, and furthermore, the position he in ain't because of him. It's because his parents put him in that position. So I'm confused that what is our problem?
And that's crazy because like, and my mom, shout out to my mom, she watching right now. And she, she always say like, if you have kids, your kids will be born into like, wealth, or somebody that's building wealth, or people that's building wealth,
Hmm.
and they won't have to know what being poor looks like. They won't have to
Hmm.
know what struggling is and everything like that. And I think that's a real problem that we have, especially in our community, because I feel like we look at struggle, and I've said this before, but I feel like we look at struggle and look at being broke. It's
Like a
almost like
badge
a
of honor.
badge of honor. Like that's crazy to me. I've never understood that. I've never understood that. But that's why I say, like, traveling, traveling and seeing the world, especially like my first cruise, like that shit really changed my life, bro. It really changed my mindset on how I look at everything, because I'm like, this is how people live all the time. This is not just no once a year, once every 2 year thing. This is how people really live. You know what I'm saying? And if you ask them what they do, you know, and it's so funny because Chris Rock made a joke, and it's kind of relate, but it kind of don't. But Chris Rock had made a joke, and he was like, "Black folks gotta fly to get to places where white folks just walk to." Now, Chris Rock, a real renowned comedian, millions and fans all over the world. He live in a nice neighborhood, and then he asks his neighbor what he do for a living. His neighbor like, "I'm a dentist." Yeah, I'm a dentist.
That's a good job. That's a doctor.
Right. But you know, he was just comparing it to he had to do all this, get all these millions of followers and millions of fans all over the world, and you know, yeah, I'm a dentist. You know, yeah.
I like how that dentist just said it so casually, like that's something that everybody can do.
Yeah. And that be the point. Like that's why I try to do these broadcasts and I try to do these videos to show people, like, especially like young men, like you don't have to be in the streets.
I be telling people to watch your stuff. Or I was just telling a young boy to watch your podcast. He just finished LPN school.
Oh, well, shout out. Thank you. And it's crazy because I'm starting to get recognized. Like me and Drina went to the Northville Fair. And this girl had walked up to us. She was like, "High value nurse." I'm like, "Yeah." And that's weird. Like, that's crazy when you start to get recognized. And it's crazy because I said I thought for sure I was gonna get recognized at my program. Nah, maybe I did. Nobody said nothing, but yeah, I get recognized.
Most of the people in your program,
they probably know me.
No. I mean, they don't look like us.
It was a lot of black people though.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Listen, when I went, it was only like 10 of us, and only probably like 5 of us finished.
Yeah, it was half the class was black.
Oh, that's
a lot of us in there today. Now, half the class was like year 1 students, and then the other half was like LP and RN students in the orientation today. So I'm curious to see it, but it was a lot of sisters in there today. It was a lot of sisters, and it was 2. So it was me and this other. He was a Mexican guy in the orientation that's going to be in the LPNs to RNs, and it was another. It was like he was a black guy and another white guy. So it was 4 of us all together, 4 dudes, and the rest women. So that was interesting. But I'm looking forward to seeing what these clinicals got off, because the doctor was like, "They'll hire you right now."
Especially at Beaumont on Grand River, Beaumont Pharmacy. They hire you.
They nowhere for me.
No, but they will hire you. And actually, if you wanted to work there, I got the one of the hiring managers' number. I got it when I was doing a clinical there. I don't know why you be going on Facebook asking them questions. Whenever I see you on Facebook asking questions, I just be like,
I be liking them. I be liking the feedback. I troll a little bit too, but you know, it is what it is. I troll a little bit. But nah, I just I'll be amazed sometimes though, because like I follow this one nurse. Her name is I think her name is Sarah. Sarah Travels, and she live in Colombia. She don't even live in the US no more, and she do like insurance things from home. All she got is her little internet. She live in like a hut with like Wi-Fi. She living off the land and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to live in no hut, but she got the right idea. I'm trying to be like, yo, how can we get this paper and not have to be there? Because the guy I was talking to last night, he owned like group homes and everything like that. He was like, "Man, you'll be good." I said, "That I gotta be here, bro. I ain't trying to have to be here. I need something that's gonna make money when I'm away. I don't want to have to physically be there to make."
What happened? I thought you said that you was trying to do a scrub line before too.
Oh yeah, I am. But see, I got bumped up, and so I said I'm gonna work on that when class is over. When class is over, I'm gonna work on that, and I'm gonna do all that though. T-shirts coming soon though. But yeah, so I just it's crazy too. Like it's just crazy. There's so much stuff in the pocket. But I did want to go over something else with you too that I had pulled up. Did you know Did you know the minimum staffing requirements? It says the minimum staffing requirements could cost nursing homes $10 billion annually. Did you know that? Craziness. 10 billion annually. This is what I'm
What's
saying.
up?
Like, this is why I be trying to preach. Like, and
That's
I'm
just the
talking to
payroll. That's
man,
what's up.
man. Oh, let me bring this up right now.
How much do they make if that's just the payroll?
Let me right. Let me bring this up right now. Let me see. I'm sorry, y'all. This is impromptu because I wanted to talk about what they doing out there in LA. Let me see. Los Angeles mayor. $25. I sent you the article. I sent you a little
Mm-hmm.
flyer.
Mm-hmm.
$25 an hour minimum for all healthcare workers. That's crazy. And I was gonna do a whole broadcast on this, but I said, nah. But I'm about to share that with y'all real quick. They got the right idea out there in California. I mean, the cost of living is high, but when I say $25 minimum wage for all healthcare workers, that means everybody from the doctors, and they're not getting $25 minimum, but from the doctors all the way down to the janitorial staff. And I'm not saying that they the lowest on the totem pole, but I'm just saying like they breaking them. The plan is to break them off at least 25,000. I mean 25,000, but $25 an hour. And I think that's a wonderful thing.
I do too.
But the hospitals are fighting that. They
Oh,
fighting that
well.
out there, and they got the money.
Man,
They
I just
have the
think that
money.
it's so horrible that they more concerned about their pockets than people's lives. Like, it's crazy to me.
It
So that's
is
when anybody come to me talking that smack, I be just like, I'm y'all gotta pay me to be away from my family. It's always about the paper first.
facts. Like this one nurse, I'll follow her. Shout out to Christina Travels. She said that she don't take nothing less than $3,000 a week, and she ain't no. I think she is. I forgot what kind of nurse she said, but she not ICU. She not L&D. She not OR, and
Oh,
she
she a
said she ain't.
RN.
Yeah, she a RN. But she said I ain't taking less than $3,000 a week.
Is
I'm not
is
moving.
that is that good?
Depends on where you live. You know what I'm saying? And it depends on your lifestyle and where you live. My guy just got here. What up, B?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
What's cracking?
Not much, man. Not much.
So I was just talking to Danny about um so what they're trying to do is loosen up the requirements for nursing school in Indiana because the shortage is so bad. They're trying to loosen up, they're trying to cut the hospital clinical time rate. And instead of going to the hospital, you could do 50% of that at their own schools and with the clinical simulations, with the mannequins and the dummies and all that kind of stuff. So what do you think about that real quick?
I think they've been doing it. I mean, when the pandemic first started, um, they actually lessened the requirements to pass the NCLEX. They dropped the requirements to even to get in the profession.
Mm,
And people I know who come pass boards for like a year and a half to 2 years, all of a sudden they start passing. So either the
dang.
test got easier or they just got smarter. I don't know.
I don't think they got smarter.
But I'm gonna just say, when for everything that happens, there's always going to be a reaction to it. So if you let people in the field who shouldn't be in the field, or you let people get in, if you drop the barrier to entry so low, you're going to have a lot more unqualified people, and it's going to cause more errors in the hospital. It's going to cause people getting licenses and can't practice. It's going to cause a lot of issues in regards to people. Um, it's gonna be problems where people gonna have
Losing
licenses,
their lives.
but they don't know how to be nurses, basically, man. So
Mhm. Yeah. So you don't think that's a good idea to take them away from that clinical setting?
well, I don't think it's a good idea to shortcut anything in life. So I mean, we deal with people's lives at the end of the day. So I mean,
Yeah,
I don't want nobody who took shortcuts taking care of me.
exactly what I said.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. So I got some motivation. I had sent B a text and I said, could I still make? Do you think I could still make such and such paper? I said $5,000. So I said, do you think I could still make $5,000 a week? Once I hit the ICU, get my experience in, and he pretty much told me like, bruh, you can make that. You can make more than that. It's just it's all about what you're willing to do.
Yeah.
And this brother sent me he sent me the proof, the receipts. I ain't gonna put his business out there, but he sent me the receipts, and it's possible. It's possible. Way more than 5 grand a week. And it's just about being willing to put in that work and working hard and be workable. So let me ask you, B, how long do you see yourself in the actual field of like patient care as far as nursing is concerned?
Oh, to be honest, I I I thought about it. I've really been thinking about it lately. I'll say another 5 years. I think another 5 years. And that'll be it for me. I think 5 more years on the bedside and then on to something new.
Like a whole new career, or still sticking in nursing and just doing something else?
That I don't know. Everyday life changes for me. And at this current time, I'm just saying on the bedside, I see another 5 years. Can I do something as far as leadership and management? Yeah, but on the bedside, I give myself another 5 years because my reason for doing bedside is different from most people's.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to say why you do it, or is it personal, or
What?
why you do bedside?
I mean, I do bedside because it's financially rewarding right now.
Right.
Um,
Right. Nothing
um,
wrong with that.
but
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be rewarding for the next couple of years. Like I said, it's all about your network. It's about who you are as a person, your reputation, how you go about dealing with co-workers. I think a lot of it has to do with why certain people make what they make and why certain people can't find contracts. And like I said, if you have a whole bunch of people out here coming out of school with no clinical experience, I think that's good for me. People like me with good ICU training could definitely gonna stand out amongst people who took shortcuts.
Hmm. That's what's up. That's what's up. I was talking to another nurse, and she was pretty much saying that this hospital in Detroit, Sinai Grace, she said that 1 year of experience there is equivalent to 5 years. Now, I didn't know how to take that. I didn't know if that was necessarily a good thing because I mean, if it's that bad, it's probably a lot of stuff going on down there that shouldn't be. But I don't know. I don't know. I've never worked there. And I actually talked to the doctor of the program today. And I asked her, "Do you think it was a good idea for a new grad to go straight into the ICU after they graduate?" And she told me, being an LPN, she said she don't see why that would be an issue. She said that if you never had any experience with dealing with patients and everything like that, she said then no. But since coming from an LPN perspective and having that experience, she said that you should definitely consider it because I always thought, but see, they always told me that being an LPN counts for absolutely nothing in a hospital. Maybe it do, maybe it don't. But she told me that they will look at that because you do have experience, just not in that setting, just not in that for that type of care, but you still do have experience as a nurse, um, just in a different thing. Let me ask you, Danny, do you want to take a specialty? Do you want to be a specialty nurse or specialize in anything?
Nope.
No. Okay.
I don't even want to be a nurse that long to do none of that.
Okay. All right. So B, what made you want to be an ICU nurse? Was the bag a big motivation?
Nah, actually, my mom was an ICU nurse.
Okay.
I ended up going
Hmm.
to nursing, and I did med surge. Listen. I did med surge for what 2 years, and then I went to the ICU. I think it was a good transition for me. Of course, I had to learn my drips, and I had to learn more time, better skills with time management. But I think um, any manager, CJ, with with what you got going on as far as being an LVN or LPN, I think any hire, like if you, it's all about how you present yourself and how you talk in your interview. I mean, you could talk about how if you take care of 20, 30 patients in a nursing home, you got to have time management to do that. You got to understand how to delegate to do that. You can't take care of 20, 30 patients on your own. It takes leadership, it takes delegating, it takes working as a team. And those are all the same skill sets you need to work in the ICU.
Hmm.
So I tell everybody, don't sell yourself short. You got to talk. You got to talk about what you do bring to the table and not what you lacking. Because if they such a good hospital, they're supposed to teach you what you lacking anyway. You know.
Facts. Facts.
So just don't worry. Listen, I tell everybody, don't worry about don't worry about what comes up with people. Like as far as what you want to do when you get out. When you're in nursing school, the goal is to graduate. And I had a clinical instructor told me in the program, the name of the game is stay in the program. The name of the game is stay in the program. Find out what you gotta do to stay in that program and just stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Be where you at and do you. Take it class by class. Don't worry about what nobody else doing and just keep going. That's it. Till you graduate, then you worry about going to get a job. It don't matter where you go. It don't matter, it don't matter, because at the end of the day, yeah, what school you go to might matter a little bit, but you got a license to practice. That's all that's important. Listen, I
Mhm.
know a dude who went to a plaza school, like a school on TV, a plaza school. This dude is a CRNA today.
So he went to
So,
like ICDC college.
well, I don't know what one of them. He went to one of them schools,
Right.
and he paid a lot more money, and he got his bachelor's. That school is not even accredited, and that dude today is a CRNA. But
Yeah.
like I said, the dude went to the interview and said, "Listen, I went to school here due to my circumstances. This is the only school that took me. I was willing to pay double of what every other school costs. Like you got to sell yourself. Like you can't just go up in there, put your head down, and looking crazy. This dude today is a CRNA, and he went to a school that's not even accredited no more.
Mm.
So don't and guess what? In the ICU, that dude was outworking me, and I was like, damn, this boy coming with it. Until he told me, man, I went to school. I ain't gonna put a school out there, but he went to a school, and I was like, bro, I ain't even know nobody from that school could even be on my level. So it all depends on what you're willing to put in it. You got to go and roll with the dices you was given. And
Right.
for anybody, you didn't go to University of Michigan nursing program, or you didn't go to Michigan State, or you're in Detroit. But I'm just saying, wherever you went to school, you just tell them, look, where I went to school is where I got accepted, and I made the best of my opportunity. I had good grades, I got good references. Let's do this. You gotta talk about you and what you bring to the table. Tell them you're a team worker. You're willing to lift patients. Tell them I don't see no other women in here lifting no patients. You need somebody to do it.
Yeah.
So you got
It's
to
a
go in
fact.
there and be your best advocate. You have to be your best advocate when you go in these places.
100%. 100%. Now I often talk about with young men. I feel like nursing is a ideal career for the man who has no children, single, young. Um, Ideal. You can get into nursing at any age at any point in life, but I'm saying it's ideal for that young man who ready to take the world and make it his oyster.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Brandon?
Um, you know, I get asked this question sometimes, but I feel like it depends on who you are as a person and what you're willing to do. And are you willing to get uncomfortable? Like, I talk to you from time to time about it, CJ. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. If they say, yo, the money is in Montana, you got to pack it up and be like, I got to go to Montana for 3 months.
Deuces.
It's going to have to work. If you're going to be like, oh, no, ain't nobody who look like me over there, or, it's cold over there, or, you can't let the weather can dictate how your pockets look. And is it a good for a young man? I'm gonna say it's good for anybody who's willing to step out their comfort zone.
Hmm.
But like I said, I advise everybody to go to like a academic hospital and get some good training and a good foundation. So when
Yeah.
you step out here and go to these clinical sites and they tell you to do some foolishness, you be like, nah, bro, I'm not doing it. Or not that I'm not doing it, but this is how y'all do it here, and I'll do it y'all way, but I know better than not to do this nowhere else.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of times where people get out here and do these contracts and they don't have the skill set to do it.
Mm.
Either you hurt somebody or you get let go, or you know, you end up getting fired from the agency just for lying. Like, just take the time, get the experience, and move on. And as far as what you said, in some places you get 5 years experience. In some places in 1 year, I think it's true. If you go to level one trauma, you getting gunshot wounds, you getting stuff you
And
can't
that's
see.
not grace.
You can't see certain things in certain places. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is are you gonna be mentally exhausted? Yes. Is it gonna be worth it? Yes. But guess what? When you stand up to other people and you start traveling, they're gonna be like, man, this dude come from Wakanda, man. I don't know where this dude come from. You know what I'm saying? This dude came with the juice, man. He came with everything. And that's what you gotta hit him with. You willing to help, you want to pick up OT, you're gonna stay late, you're gonna come early, you're gonna show up and you're gonna show out. That's what it's about.
Mm. Do you think with your mother being a nurse that mentally prepared you for getting into the field? Like, did you growing up, did you want to be a nurse, or is it kind of something you fell into?
No, I didn't want to be a nurse. My mom actually told me don't do nursing. She's just like, you're not gonna like it. Don't even do it. But like I said, the competitor in me, and also originally I wanted to be a physical therapist. But then I looked at the physical therapy, like how much the program costs and how much they pay, and I was just like, wait, something ain't right. Like this is a doctoral program. It's 3 more years after my bachelor's. On top of that, the program I was looking at was costing like 70, 80,000, plus the cost of living, plus food, plus it was gonna cost me $100,000 easy. And nursing school, my nursing program was expensive. My nursing program was end up being like 40,000, but I got some scholarships, and I think I only had to pay like 10. So it worked out for me, and also physical therapy didn't have like what we consider now a compact license. So once you work in one state, you have to apply individually to each state to work, and it just wasn't a flexible field. Um, so I just made a decision, and also I did an accelerated nursing program, so I only did 12 months, and I got a bachelor's in 12 months. So
Mm, that's what's up.
um, it
That's
just
what's
it
up,
just it
Danny.
just
What
worked for me and
inspired
my
you to be a nurse? Did you always want to be a nurse?
No. Uh, Initially when I left high school, I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
Um, but when I went to college, I wasn't disciplined enough. My mom was just super strict on me. So to not have that over me, I didn't know how to act.
Oh, okay. So
So that didn't
how
work
did you
out.
end up falling into nursing?
I was working two jobs. My friend saw me and was asking me why I was working two jobs and told me he can give me a job where I can pay my bills with one job. And that's how I became a rehab aide. And that's what introduced me into nursing. Working as a rehab aide, I became a SENA. My nurses appreciated my work and told me that I shouldn't stay no aide. And so they badgered me about it and started showing me their work, and then they showed me their check. Um, and when they showed me their check, I went to school.
Hmm. That's what's up. And I say that too. Like I was saying that on a live the other day. CNA, and I love my CNAs, but that's not uh to me, that isn't a job that is not meant to be a 20, 30-year job. That is back breaking work. To me, that's a young person's job.
Hmm.
It's a young person's job. And I just really I truly honest to God feel like that if you can be a CNA, I feel like you can be an LPN. Like I really do believe that in my heart. Um, and I've told a story about how I saw a woman working as a CNA, 60 years old, and she was on a cane, like
God.
no cap. This was in Waterford. Like, and I said, wow, like, who's she supposed to turn? How's she supposed to help lift a patient up, and she's having a hard time getting around herself? And that's why I just want people to be mindful. Um, the pay ain't worth it for you to be in the game that long. Like, and I'm gonna just keep it real. It's not. And shout out to shout out to Dorothy in the chat. She be giving me some real good game. Uh, she be going at it with me about. She used to go at it with me about Kevin Samuels, but on that nursing tip, she be giving me some real good game. So shout out to Dorothy. That's one of my other mentors that I rock with. But yeah, man. She said Brandon is right. Level one trauma is where it's at to get experience. Detroit receiving Sinai Grace all day. Nikki is right. You have to be mindful of the housing cost. Okay, so we was talking about Cali. Brandon, you worked in Cali, right?
Yeah, I definitely had a little tour through Cali. It was a good little fun tour.
Okay, you like California.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like each nurse need to take 6 months to just go out there and just get the vibe, and also get the understanding of it's different everywhere you go. I prefer to work in places that have a unionized states like California, Boston, But they got ratios. Like, there's no, can you take this extra patient? Nah, I can't. Sorry, bro. I'm a nurse, like just like everybody else. Either you gonna have to, pay somebody to come back in, or you gonna have to figure it out. You, so you gotta really know what you're stepping into before you go in there, and know the laws like everybody else. Like, you'll be surprised, man. With certain people, three patients in the ICU is normal, and they underpaying you. When other places gonna mandate that you get a lunch break, they're gonna give you 2 15s, a 30, and they're gonna have people to turn your patients for you. They're gonna have people who actually take care of your patients while you on lunch break, not watching, just look at your patients. They actually giving medications, emptying Foley's. Like, they pay people to do this. And I really think it really, you got to really be conscious and intentional with the way you move in this nursing game. So yes, I went to Cali. I loved it. I love the I said I love the work, like I like the work life balance out there. I never seen too many nurses driving Teslas. I was just like, man, when nurses start buying Teslas, they all had them. They had charging stations at the hospital. I'm like, for doctors and for nurses, they like, nah, for us, it's a whole different league. And when I'm out there, I like the vibes, I like the people, I like the culture. You're gonna meet a lot of Filipino nurses, and you just gotta brace. You gotta get. You might not speak Tagalog, but you better learn how to just be friends with them.
How do you feel about? Would you ever move out there? Would you ever get a place in Cali?
Like, to rent, I'll rent a place. I wouldn't buy a place. I can't afford it, man. Listen, the smallest house on the block costs $1 million out there. Um, but I'm talking about like in major cities like a San Francisco, LA. That's where I want to be. I don't want to be, and that's where you get the biggest stipends too. So you got to kind of go, with what's going on, and you gotta, I feel like the nursing game is kind of like the housing market. Before it was all about the high stipends, low salaries. High stipends is tax free, put it in my pocket. I ain't paying no taxes. Now it's about high stipends and high salaries. COVID got people spoiled. People like me, and we ain't trying to go back to them old days. But them days were still good though. And everything happens in cycles. I don't think we're ever gonna get a cycle like we had these last 2 3 years. And I think people really need to be conscious of where they're working at, and understand the laws that their state provides.
Mm, yeah, that's real talk, man. That's real talk.
But if you could travel to Cali, go with somebody, go with like a friend. And y'all just say we're gonna be out here for 6 months, and just focus, grind, and you'll be surprised how much money you can make. You'll be surprised if you work 4 days a week in Cali for 6 months, how much your pocket's gonna look like. Like, per diem, I think I have a friend that applied to UCLA like a couple months ago. I think per diem is like $95 an hour
Mm.
at
And that's why I
UCLA.
said,
No commitment. I think the commitment is like 2 or 3 days a month. Like, that's not a big commitment. You could fly down there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and come back.
and
And you
and
can,
that's exactly what I was telling. I was telling Dorothy about. I think I mentioned something to you about it too, Danny. But in the nurse I was talking to last night, I said I would go to Cali for 2 weeks work and then come back. No problem.
so,
Easy.
but
Like,
but but I'm not gonna lie. The nurses out there, they just so more relaxed. They so much chill, because they privileged. Like, when a lot of nurses leave California and go somewhere else, they be like, man, I had it good where I was at. So don't think you're gonna get protected by these unionized states. But like I said, Cali do come with some you know with some other things that, like California has very high state taxes. Places like Texas, places like Florida, places like New
Okay.
Hampshire, they got no state taxes. So you taking home more money, but are you gonna make it's a balance. And
mhm.
like I said, if you go out there and get an Airbnb for like $3,000 or $4,000 a month, and it's two or three of y'all, I think it can work. It's cost effective for everybody. Everybody working, everybody grinding, everybody working out. If you could get around the right group of guys, it's gonna cut a lot of expenses down, and you can really get a nice place for $4,000 to $5,000 a month. If it's four nurses splitting the bill for $4,000, it's $1,000 each. Everybody, get their own food and do their own thing on their days off. Some people work 6 days, some people work four. Everybody do their thing differently, but I definitely think the opportunities out there for anybody who willing to put that work in. And I'm not talking about that. You can go get a New York license. I don't like I worked in New York. I don't like New York. They got too many taxes, and the ratios is off the charts. So, like I said, you got to really go to certain places, and as you travel and as you elevate in this game, in nursing and travel nursing, you're gonna see where you like to work and where you don't like to work.
Facts. Dorothy says Brandon is right. Um, she says I'm an ICU at receiving. Took a local contract. I won't mention the name of the hospital, and it was a cakewalk. The benefits of Cali is ratios, unions, and actual breaks. She said, "But what if you're getting that amount at home? Well, shit, then stay home." I mean, if you're getting that kind of money at home, then I will stay. You know what I'm
Right. And
saying? But
you don't see, listen, and another thing I noticed was everybody talking about CRNA school. You go to California, ain't nobody talking about CRNA school. They like, bro, I make $100 an hour. Ain't no reason for me to go to CRNA school. For
right.
real, it's a whole different. Listen, you see nurse. I'm telling you, you see nurses with all kind of stuff. You be like, man, y'all living a good life.
That's what I'm
So
saying. Like, and I be saying, like, you don't ever really be seeing no California nurses complain.
I
Like,
mean,
I
they
barely.
do, but they privileged. It's just like the rich kid that cry like he can't go hang out on the corner with his friends. Like
Right.
he really supposed to be in the corner. Like, bro, you privileged, bro. Save the
Right,
world.
and that's what I'm saying. Them kind of complaints, but not no real life. Like it's terrible, it's horrible. I need to get out. Like I'm trying to get out. Like I never see that. I see that from other states like New York, and you know what I'm saying. But I never hear like them Cali nurses be quiet, low key, for the most part. Like they
No,
be
I mean,
quiet.
not he's saying like if how the cost of housing going up. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, CJ. New York, when I went to Cali on my first day, I met this Filipino dude. Dude had on a Rolex. I was like, what? Wait, which he said? He said, yeah, man. We all got we get these. I was like, we get these. He was just like, man, I worked with that dude for 2 weeks. He looked at me and said, hey, look, man, you stay out here, you gonna get you some too. And that dude, listen, that dude was for real. He said, man, I stay in $1 million house. He said, I'm a nurse, my wife a nurse, and he was just like, my wife. He said his daughter nursing program in California cost like $70,000, $80,000, and he was gonna pay every dime of it because it's worth it. So, you got to go where you at, and you got to really realize what you got going on and make it work for you. They got good hospitals. They give pensions out there. I ain't even gonna name some of them good hospitals out there because I don't want people taking all my jobs. But it's some good hospitals out there in Cali. If you know where to go, they give good pensions. They got 8-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts, and you can really make a lot of money. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, CJ. Them people who really work at those hospitals, and they
Mhm.
get good benefits, good pensions, and they not even working hard. They not. When I say they not working hard, I'm talking to somebody from the South who really getting that work. So, it really depends on what you want out of this nursing game, and you gonna see nurses, you know, that live good lives. If you, I'm just put it like that. It's not common for a nurse over there to make 150, 160 a year. It's not uncommon.
Right, right, and that's what I said. Like I will work in Cali 2 weeks, come back home like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I had no problem doing that commute, taking that flight. And,
Right,
and I
but
think that's the beauty about being in the situation I'm in. And then you said, like, you got to be willing to follow the money. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what this game is all about now. Uh, Especially if you want to make the most out of your opportunity, you got to go where the opportunities are. If it's Montana, you might have to go to Montana. If it's California, you might have to go to California. Whatever the case may be, you got to do what's ultimately what's best for you. But if you're trying to get a bag, the bag is out there. You know what I'm saying? So, but ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna wrap this up here. I just wanted to come on for an hour. I got some studying to do, but I did want to come on and chop up and get some work in. I'm trying to encourage B to start a nursing channel, so and get his game and his insight out there. So, but anything y'all want to say before we wrap this thing up?
nah, man, that's kind of it, man. Anybody in nursing school, keep going. If you're already a nurse, just try to get the best experience you can, and basically figure out what your end goal is and go towards it. Not everybody's going to travel. Some people might do local contracts. Some people might just grab 2 per diem jobs and be like, I don't want to set schedule. I could just work per diem. But like I said, you got to have the experience to do that. And you got to move how you want to move. That's all I'm going to say. You got to move how you want to move, but you got to have the skill set to back it up. If you don't have no skill set, you can't move. So just go somewhere, get some good experience, and you make the life that you want to live if that's what you want to do.
Mhm.
Facts. Danny, you want to say anything?
No, no, I don't.
So when are you dropping again on your channel, Danny?
Actually, I was about to make a video shortly. Because since I'm about to do this travel contract, I said I think I'm gonna do a video introducing myself again and take everybody on the journey with me for my first contract.
As you should. Get your
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all being here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. So shout out to everybody who hitting that like button, that subscribe button. We have 1,610 subscribers right now. We are going up, trying to get to 2,000. I want to get to 2,000 by September. So y'all share this, y'all like this. Let's get it cracking. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you adieu. Get paid, young nurse. Get paid. Peace.